Good morning, class. This is Reader's Workshop, and our topic will be fictional or traditional literature. I've picked traditional literature. Now, before I get to read the story to you, I want to go over voice fluctuation, how you change your voice with punctuation marks. So, this is your period. When you come to the period, you stop, pause, count to 3, then continue reading. Here's your exclamation mark. This is where you're going to be excited. You're going to raise your voice, or you're going to yell, "Happy birthday!" This is your question mark. This is your asking mark. That means your voice naturally goes up, and you're asking a question, waiting for some sort of answer. Who does this pencil belong to? Your voice naturally goes up. This is a comma. You would find this between words. Stop, take a breath, count to 3, continue reading until you get to your end mark. These are quotation marks. These would be put around the words that someone or something had said. This is where you should change your voice to that character to make the reading interesting. Okay. Now, another thing I want you to focus on while reading is the character. Think about how they are. Are they nice? Are they mean? Are they adventurous, kind of curious, like Curious George? Are they young? Are they old? Okay, so here is your next story. Now, I am not familiar with this story, but you may be. It's called 3 Golden Flowers. Adapted, that means the author took the original story and changed it. He tweaked it and made it a bit different, by Lisa Harkrader. Illustrated, the person who drew the pictures, by Marty Noble. Once there was a chief. Chief would be like the president or the king. Once there was a chief who ruled an island tribe, who ruled an island of people. He lived a happy life until one day his daughter became very ill, very sick. The chief called the tribe's healers. The healers, that's like the medicine men or like the doctors, the healers did everything they could for the princess. They gave her herbs, special plants, baths in her oils, and turned spices to smooth, burned spices to soothe her. But the princess continued to grow weaker. Soon she could barely lift her head from her pillow. The chief was deeply concerned, worried, and he sent for a tribal wise man. He sent for a person to give him some wisdom. Find 3 golden orchards. That's a beautiful flower mothers usually get on Mother's Day. The wise men set upon examining the princess. Their scent will cure her. So he says, you find those 3 orchards and the smell will make her better. Where are these golden flowers? Asked the chief. They grow only when the sun shines through the water, said the wise man. They grow only when the sun shines through the water. So here's the princess, the emperor is the older guy over here, and here's your wise man telling him what to do to make her better. The chief proclaimed, said that any man who can bring him the 3 golden orchards, the flowers, could marry the princess. The great warriors of the tribes, the great fighters of the tribes, eager to earn the princess's hand in marriage, explored, looked around every inch of the island, but they could not find the golden orchards. On a nearby island, a poor man lived with his wife and 3 sons. The sons were not great warriors, they were not great fighters, they were modest farmers like their father. When the family heard that the chief's proclamation, what he said, they were excited. They knew exactly where to find the flowers that would cure the princess. Each year, 9 perfect orchards, delicate and golden, grew behind a waterfall in a hidden valley. The oldest of the brothers went to the valley and picked 3 largest orchards. He picked them carefully in a basket and sent off into his canoe like a boat across the sea. And they show a picture of the golden orchards and the girl. When the eldest brother reached the chief's island, he met an old fisherman on the beach. "What have you there?" asked the fisherman, and the young man knew that everyone was searching for the orchards. He was afraid the old man would steal the basket if he knew what treasures lay inside. "Fishing worms," the young man said, so he didn't tell him the truth because he didn't want him to take the orchards. The fisherman smiled and allowed him to continue. The young man reached the village, and as soon as he stood before the chief, he opened his basket. He was surprised to find worms, just as he told the fisherman. So that fisherman must have had magic. When the oldest brother returned home, the middle brother decided to try his luck. He too met the fisherman on the beach. Like the older brother, he was suspicious, he was worried, and lied to the fisherman, and later, when he met the chief, he also found the basket filled with worms. So I have a feeling that this fisherman has magic. Here's the fisherman, here's one of the brothers. Now, only 3 golden orchards left remained. The youngest brother picked them and set off to see the chief. He too met the fisherman, and again the fisherman asked what was in the basket, but this boy was honest with him. "I carry flowers that will cure the princess," he said. "Indeed you do," said the fisherman. Then he gave the boy a bamboo flute, a little flute to play with, made out of bamboo, a type of tree. "It will bring you luck," he said, and the boy thanked the fisherman and ran into the village. At first the wary chief, worried, tired, refused to see him, but the boy opened his basket to reveal the golden orchards. They were as perfect as when he had first picked them. As soon as the princess smelled the orchards, her eyes opened, she looked up and smiled, she thanked the boy, and soon the two were laughing and talking together. The chief was pleased that his daughter was cured, but he did not want the princess to marry the son of a farmer. So let's see what happens. Is the father gonna keep the promise? "You have cured my daughter," he told the boy, "but now you must prove that you are worthy to marry her. Tomorrow you must take 100 parrots into the forest, and in the evening you must bring them all back safely. If any are missing, you cannot marry my daughter." So that's the task, that's the job he has to do in order to marry her. The boy spent the next day chasing the parrots, but by nightfall he could not find a single one. Suddenly, he remembered the lucky bamboo flute. He trilled a few notes. He played a few notes, and all of the parrots flew to him. When the young man returned with all 100 parrots, the chief could not believe his eyes. "If my daughter will have you," said the chief humbly, "then I will welcome you into our family." When they were older, the princess did indeed marry this boy. So when they got older, she did say, "Yes, I'll marry you." They lived happily ever after on the island. So here's the magical flute on his neck, and here they're rowing a boat. Right here. Right here. And when they got older, they did get married and lived happily ever after. So, now this is your time to read to someone. Mother, father, brother, sister, cousins, grandma, grandpa, uncle, aunt. Find a book to read. You don't have a book, go to the district website or to ClassTag and read one of the reading handouts. Read and repeat reading. Practice makes perfect. Don't forget to fluctuate your voice. Think about the characters you're reading. If you have nobody to read to your pet. You don't have a pet, read to your toy. If you don't have that, then you play teacher and read out loud. Make sure you use voice expression. Until next time, bye-bye.